The only art I'll ever study is stuff I can steal from. So whenever I'm consuming a new piece of media that inspires me in any kind of way, I bring something from it and bring it into whatever I'm working on. So recently I watched the film Birdman, and that film has a pretty jazzy, drum-heavy soundtrack. Being inspired by that soundtrack, I took it and I kind of brought it into my own short film that I was making, and I created something new out of something that already existed. And even though I make it sound simple, stealing like an artist isn't. I think back to auteur filmmakers in the age before the internet, where they had to find their inspirations and seek them out actively. But nowadays it's easy. Like for this project, I was doing a Millinote board and I was pulling different pictures that inspired me, and they were all coming from my camera roll. And I was thinking to myself, I hadn't gotten these images from Google, I hadn't gotten them from someone sending them to me, I'd gotten them mostly from Instagram. I don't really think I need to introduce you to Instagram. It's one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. It has over 2 billion active monthly users and was 2024's most used social media platform. Now, these accounts that I'm pulling these images from aren't your average Instagram accounts. They're kind of like digital mood boards, or some people even call them archive pages. Whether it's cars, clothes, architecture, gaming, music, movies, literature, anything you can think of, these Instagram accounts post. And each one kind of has a different focus, but some of them also do a little bit of everything. And what's interesting about it is the Instagram accounts aren't about the people who own the page. It's more about the curation and the vibes behind it. It's about the community, because the community comes together just to kind of share in art and culture, which is surprising considering what most social media comment sections look like. But the other interesting thing is the accounts aren't making the content on these pages, they're simply curating it. So they're stealing like artists. And what's interesting is that you're taking stolen content that you then steal to inspire your original content. Kind of interesting. And while you might be thinking this is kind of lazy, you're just taking other people's content and reposting it for yourself, what's cool about it is people are then amassing followings on social media and using that to then start their own brands. This t-shirt I'm wearing right now literally comes from an apparel brand that was started by somebody who owned an Instagram account, and that Instagram account just posted cars and different car-related lifestyle things, and then started this brand, and now they sell t-shirts. It's pretty crazy. One of the most popular accounts in this subgenre, called A Plastic Plant, had his own merch drop at a store. People showed up, waited in line, got to meet each other. It was a pretty cool experience that then was all started by Instagram.
Hey, me editing forgot to transition into the next part. It's about the creative process and stealing like an artist. Okay, bye.
My creative process always starts with putting together inspirations. It gives you or your collaborators a jumping off point. For example, if it's visuals, maybe I'm putting together some of my favorite movie stills, or maybe if it's audio, I'm putting together a playlist. And so you take a little piece of this, a little piece of that, and before you know it, you've created an original piece of content from your inspirations. And so maybe you'll enjoy some of these accounts, or not, and that's okay too. But maybe if you don't, you could go and start your own, and maybe start stealing like an artist too.